What's up, guys? Specstar here today with my Week 7 battle of the DGBA, and I'm going up here against Pi, who filled in for my opponent last minute because my opponent expressed disinterest in participating in the league, making him the 7th person replaced there. But we're going to keep on rolling, finishing our season. And Pi here has a team consisting of Tapu Bulu, Necrozma, Zygarde 10%, Heatran, Zebstrika, and Mega Sharpedo. And I've got a team here with, I have a Mega Latios, which is, it's got 240 speed or something like that. It's got a lot of speed, 341 speed exactly. And then I have special defense investment and HP investment balanced so that I can take Dragon Pulses from Heatran and roost up on them. Pretty complicated set, actually, with Draco Meteor, Earthquake, Toxic, and Roost. And I have a Celesteela, which has enough speed for a min speed Milotic and enough special defense to not let it break its sub with Scald ever. And then the rest in HP and physical defense with Substitute, Toxic, Leech Seed, and Heavy Slam. I have a Hoopa Unbound, which is Specs with Dark Pulse, Psychic, Focus Blast, and I believe Thunderbolt was my last move. And I have the Zero Aura, which is very speedy. I think I was max speed to outspeed. I was either to outspeed or tie. Was it Necrozma? I already had a lot of speed because I wanted to outspeed a Scarf Bulu, and then I put the rest to make me deal with Necrozma. And it is Steelium Z Iron Tail, which was to hit Bulu, of course, Fake Out, Plasma Fist, and Close Combat. And my Empoleon is specially defensive with Scald, Defog, no, not Defog, Scald, Protect, Stealth Rock, and last move, I'm blanking on my set. It may have been Defog. And Alomomola, which was physically defensive with Liquidation, Protect, Wish, and Toxic. So here I decide that I wanted to lead off with my, I don't remember, Hoopa Unbound, right? Because it put quite a bit of pressure on his team if he made the wrong lead, which was possibly Necrozma or Heatran to get up his rocks, which was what I was thinking. I'm just going to go safely for a Dark Pulse, which covers him trying to switch out on a Focus Blast or staying in. He's going to bring in Bulu and show to be very specially defensive Assault Vest. I'm going to bring in my Celesteela, which is always a safe bring-in on it. I figure here that he would probably try to go into Zebstrika or Heatran since he has the terrain. So I go for my Stomping Tantrum, and of course I have Tantrum over Earthquake for his terrain specifically. He's going to pop his Shuka Berry, which is nice for me for later, and I'm going to do a decent amount of damage, not too much, but not too little. I'm going to bring in my Empoleon on his Heatran because that's my opportunity to get up rocks, which are very nice for me, and he does not have any hazard control. So the rocks looking real slick for me. Very happy to get them up here. He's going to go into his Zebstrika, and here I went into Mega Latios because I thought there was a very good chance he would just go for the Overheat to predict my Zero Aura. Sorry, I'm blanking here. He goes for Signal Beam. It does nothing because my Latios is very bulky. I'm going to Mega Evolve and throw off a Toxic, which covered a potential switch in. I was expecting Bulu. I didn't think he'd go into Trans since I already showed Stomping Tantrum on Steela. He knows I'm thinking about hitting that Pokemon and prioritizing it. He's going to go for Nature's Madness as I go into my Celesteela. Perfectly fine with me. I'm just going to go for Leech Seed to try to get my health back up on this Pokemon, salvage it. And I'll do just that. He'll go into Necrozma. And here, I believe, did I go into my Hoopa here? No, I went into Empoleon first just to be extra safe. He has a Heat Wave. I know he's going to have Signal Beam or some sort of way to hit Hoopa, and I'm ready for that. I'm going to be very careful about pivoting Hoopa into it. I'm going to go into my Empoleon, and then with having Empoleon in, I thought that's when he would definitely not go for the bug move, and I'm going to bring in Hoopa. I've seen a Signal Beam on his Zebstrika. I don't much want to take that. He goes for it on my Zeraora. Here I'm going to go for a Fake Out, gets a nice chip on it. I'm preparing for him to have something to throw off and hit my Zeraora, so I'm going to make the play into my Latios, which walls this thing very comfortably, as he actually shows Inferno Overdrive, so it was a pretty successful scout for us there. He's going to go for Signal Beam. It's shown to do absolutely zero, so I'm just comfortable to roost right up. And here I'm going to go for an Earthquake in case it just hits this Pokemon and also covers him trying to switch out. And I'll claim that life, get a nice 6-5 lead here early. He's going to bring out his Sharpedo, and my Alomomola is just my always answer to that. He can't Mega Evolve early because if he does, he's just so easily revenge killed on this Pokemon. So I know he's not going to be able to touch my Alomomola with that. He goes out into his Tapu Bulu as I pull the switch into Zeraora, predicting that. And Zeraora, I believe, just let me bait him into keeping that in, and that was kind of my thought process. And I'm just going to go right for my Steelium Z to take this Pokemon out, as I will do. Very nice to see the Bulu go down, opens things up a bit for my Waters. And he is going to bring in his Zygarde 10%. I do not want to let this thing take a hit from that. I'm going to go out into my Alomomola, and he's going to go for a Dragon Dance. I just want to get off a Toxic so I can start wearing this thing down. But he's actually going to show the Substitute, which is good on his behalf. So here I know I just have to start clicking Liquidation and get this thing worn down in range of Fake Out. That's my goal. He's going to go for another DD. Fortunately, he's not C, so I know Alomomola can just munch hits because Alomomola is just a savage. And I'm going to click Liquidation again here. And I'm actually going to get a defense drop, which kind of sucks for him. It sucks in that I would have had to potentially, if I didn't get the roll for the 2-hit KO, which was possible, if I didn't get it, he would have actually popped his Ipapa Berry and gotten health back up, and then I would have had to potentially lose up to 2 Pokemon to kill this thing, but I still would have been in a very comfortable position, and it potentially made the difference of differential above all else. So I'm gonna go for my next Liquidation here and take the thing out. And for it with the drop, but I did have a chance to take it down with a roll, and that was a 20%. And if I had the other 20%, I got to throw off 2. If I got the second one instead, I would have only lost 1 Pokemon taking that thing down. So he brings out his Necrozma. I'm comfortable to bring my Latios in on that. I know he'll have some coverage to hit it, and Hoopa, bug coverage, shows to be Signal Beam, which was more likely than X-Scissor, not surprised. But I know I just take those because my Latios is very bulky. I'm just going to roost up. Signal Beam has a chance to confuse, but if it did confuse, I would have been able to switch out. So I wasn't too worried about that. I'm just safe to keep clicking Roost, keep clicking Roost. And then here, I'm going to Roost one more time, and then I'm going to decide to throw off a Toxic now. That way, when I just continue roosting on this thing, it's going to be going down, which is very nice for me. A very tricky position for my opponent here, and I'm just going to be roosting up again. He's going to go into Sharpedo here as I go for my roost. Still, I have Alomomola, which is a very, very good answer to Sharpedo, about as good as they come. He's going to go for a Crunch. Still going to do 0 because he's not yet Mega'd. I believe now he decided to Mega. Yep, he will opt to do that, and he's going to go for a Crunch. I believe I just went for a Toxic here. He's only doing 35 because Alomomola is just such a savage like that. And I'm going to Wish up. Wish, Protect. This time he's going to drop my defense and get a little bit of justice where it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to Protect up here, and then Wish, and then Protect. He'll bring out his Heatran in on this thing. He's going to go for Toxic. I just wanted to go out into my Empoleon to wrap this thing up here. It was the safest way to preserve my differential, which is why I went out into my Empoleon here. Especially defensive, I'm going to munch hits and can put some pressure back with Scald. If he goes into Necrozma, it's going to get really weakened, and I'll get to bring in Hoopa for free and get a KO with that. Not sure if I would make that play, but I definitely could. He's going to go for the Plume there, get me weakened, and I'm going to take him out with the Scald. He'll bring out Necrozma, and I'm just going to bring out my Latios and Draco him, and then finish him off with an Earthquake. So we're going to win 6-0 in a game that could have been, if I didn't get the drop, it could have been potentially a 4-0 or 3-0, but I guess we'll take it. We've lost 2 games to hacks here, so GG to my opponent. Mega Latios fortunately put in a ton of work, finally doing what I drafted in round 2 to do. Very glad to see. So that's going to be it for this video. We're going to move on to 4-3 plus 8. Finally starting to look good on our record here. Still not as good as I'd like my records to be, but definitely moving in the right direction. And that's going to be it. I want to thank you guys for watching. Have yourselves a good night.